Okay, this is chapter 7, episode 7, whatever you want to call it. As you can see, I don't know if the light's really doing it justice, but I put on the clevises, welded those up. You know, hopefully I did a pretty good job. So, you know, a little booger welding and such like that. I decided to paint it. You know, that way I can test fit it and get everything lined up so I can do the ends. As you can see, I got 4 bolts. I did my mending plate right there on either side to stitch the extra 3.5 piece together. So extending it out 3.5 inches and then doing the mend piece on there. Yes, I had to do some filling because this was a scrap piece of 1/4 inch I had from a winch plate that I tried using but wasn't going to work. So in any case, I got my my welding done for the base of the winch bumper, the Embark winch bumper from Move Industries, or Move Bumpers, or whatever you want to call it. And there's a little emblem right there. And on, if you notice right here, these the roller studs for the roller guide, what I had a problem with was, like I was saying earlier, the winch plate, even though I lowered it to clear the winch and to give me a little bit more height, a little bit more distance in between the grill and the winch, I didn't quite move it down far enough to allow for the bolts to come in the back for the fair lead. So what I did is I took some stove bolts and I ground them flat to fit into the slots. Had to open up the slots a little bit, and because my winch is like right up against this front plate, you know, there's hardly any room right there. So if I had dropped it down another, I don't know, 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, I probably would have gained enough room for a hex head bolt in between the front of the winch and this plate. But I didn't want to cut this off again, so what I ended up doing was I used these stove bolts, ground them down, fit them into the slots, and they're 1/2 inch grade 5, so they're pretty tough. There's usually not a load that's on these, so I'm not really too worried about it. I know a lot of people would say, oh man, but you know, you can't put, like, you know, you're pretty much stuck with a certain type of fair lead. But you know, right now I don't care. So if I'm gonna go to a different fair lead, different winch, all that stuff, I'd probably make a whole new winch bumper. But there she be. I think my Harbor Freight welder is pretty much had it, because you know, even though it's 20 years old and it still can do pretty good, the 140 welder that I've been using just lays down a cleaner bead, you know, as you can see right there. I hope you can see that. Yeah, it's hard to get the temperature right, but once I got the temperature right, it laid down a pretty clean bead. You know, it's just a lot of different things ended up happening. So, but right now I'm happy that I got this much going. So, you know, I'm painted it OD green to match my steps and my rear bumper and swing tire carrier. So the next day, excuse me, allergies are kicking my butt. Yeah, sorry, allergies kick my butt during this time of year, and I end up at least doing 3 or 4 sneezes. So rather than you listen to that, any case, 1/2 inch grade 8 bolts, you know, got 4 of them holding the bumper up on each side. And what I need to work on right now is There's usually supposed to be that bar across the top, but like I said, it interferes with my the disconnect on my winch, and so I'm gonna have to look into like what kind of options I have, because I don't like this open area right here, okay, in between the frame rails and the outside part of the bumper, and those extensions, you know, come out quite far. So I need to, you know, tack those up, look and see how those are going to be, because I want to close up this area, but you know, I still need access to the winch. So that's going to be probably, you know, a couple more episodes before this thing's done. So thanks for bearing with me. Long time project, so I'm trying to get it done right.